Gooning is officially spread to women. So we're going to learn about it. If it's about the book I think it is, this is going to be a great video.
Oh, I didn't see you there. What am I reading, you ask? Well, just one of the best-selling books on Amazon right now.
That's
with
actually
millions of
true, by
sales
the way.
and
It's not
almost
even a gag.
20,000 five-star reviews. This book has been absolutely blowing up, especially on TikTok. Or
Yeah, I saw the synopsis of it.
BookTok, as the kids call it. Thousands and thousands of women, in particular, have been raving about this piece of literature. What
Please
piece of
explain it.
literature is it, you may ask? Well, Morning
Yeah, it's not what I think it is.
Glory Milking Farm, of course. A popular
By the way, it is exactly what you would think it is, just from that name.
romance novel about a young woman down on her luck who does what every young woman does when facing financial struggle.
Milk Minotaurs.
She starts an OnlyFans. No, I'm just kidding. She wouldn't degrade herself like that. She gets a job jerking off monsters.
Yep.
That's right. The Morning Glory Milking Farm.
I have been reading Morning Glory Milking Farm since last night, and
You would look like the. You look like the type, yeah.
it's.
Why are your dogs out? Put them away.
This was a good time. It did not disappoint.
If this book is trash, then I am a fucking raccoon. Give
Okay.
me all of the garbage.
Get your eyeballs on this because it is so good.
I don't ever want to hear a woman talk about the type of shit men watch when it comes to porn. I don't want to hear it. Not when y'all are reading shit like this.
I regret to inform you that there is a new epidemic. An epidemic that many have yet to discuss. And that epidemic is
Books.
female gooners.
Oh.
Now, for those of you
I
unaware...
mean, to be fair, one of the most popular books and movies among women, or at least it was 50 Shades of Grey, which is literally just like BDSM the movie.
Gooner is internet
This has kind of always been a thing. It's just gotten worse.
slang for someone addicted to porn. And smut is slang for
Porn.
dark romance
It
novels,
is porn
otherwise known as
comics.
porn. Many correct about the dangers of porn addiction with
This
men,
video is
how
getting
it can
flagged
destroy
100%.
their lives and their relationships. And most men know the material they consume is weird. That is why they are ashamed of it. That is why they delete their browser history. That is why they go incognito mode. But these bitches freaks out
no
here.
comment.
They display their smut openly in bookstores.
Okay, hear me out.
Proudly
Ooh.
pose in front of their smut collections. They discuss their smut openly on TikTok.
This is the equivalent of like walking into a guy's room and if he had like all his favorite porn stars, like posters for them on his wall.
They go to smut conventions
What
and
the
get choked out by 9-foot-tall shirtless wendigos. Now, I know what you are thinking. Shoe, isn't
Drink
this
the
pot
monster.
calling the kettle degenerate? Yes. Yes, it is. But have you considered it takes one to truly know one? You see, women
Oh.
are strange, fascinating creatures. For
Yes, yes.
centuries, men have tried to figure us out. Our mood is affected by the tides and the moon. We bleed for 5 days and don't die. By painting my face, I can instantly shapeshift from a 4 to a 6. We are truly mysterious,
Hey, men can do that too. You just choose not to.
magical creatures.
Most of
But one
us.
of the most mysterious aspects of women to men is our sexuality. You see, us women are not like those disgusting moids. No, we are sophisticated. We are
No.
evolved. We don't watch videos of strangers slapping their sweaty bodies together. No, we read about strangers slapping their sweaty bodies
And also usually one of the strangers is a demon or an animal or a fucking... What else? Demon, animal, beast, but that's the same thing.
together.
Mythical monster.
It's different, okay? You don't understand. It's okay when we do it. So, let's talk about it. Let's talk about the rapidly growing popularity of dark romance on TikTok and the recent dark romance convention that ended in disaster. Let's take a break from
Wait,
all
was
this
it
depressing
recent?
political news and talk about something silly. Not that those political things aren't important, trust me, they are. You should be keeping up with politics and the news when
Yeah, I
you
like how we moved from politics to smut. I probably could go back to politics after this.
can. I know it can be difficult to do, but fear not. I have an app for that. So before we get into this video, let's
Ground
quickly
News.
give a shout out to our sponsor, Ground News.
Yeah.
Ground News is a website and
Sorry,
an app
Shoe. We just...
So
I've
thank you to
seen an
Ground
ad.
News for sponsoring this
I've
video.
seen an ad for Ground News about fucking 600 times in the last like 2 months. I don't need to see another one.
And thank you, the viewer, for not skipping the ad. Right? So let's get back to the video.
I would never skip.
BookTok is a very interesting place, and any book fans out there know how it has absolutely destroyed the hobby of literature and just flooded it with absolute slop. Spicy slop. You see, books on TikTok are not rated by how well they are written or how good
The only good thing I'll give BookTok, which is now just turned into horny talk, is that it's getting people to read. That is the only good thing I will give it. It at least, reading at least requires some, like, mental exertion.
characters are. No, they are rated
Admittedly,
by
like, far more than just watching a video or something, you know?
the spice.
I'll give them
And
that.
what does spice mean? Porn. It means porn. Spice level is very important to BookTokers. How much spice does a book have? What are the spiciest books they have ever read? How spicy is the book they're currently reading? Spice, spice, spice. The spiciest book going viral on BookTok lately is none other than Morning Glory Milking
Yeah.
Farm by C.M. Nascosta.
It's literally just a romance story between a woman and, like, a minotaur.
Violet is a typical down-on-her-luck millennial, mid-20s, overeducated, and drowning in debt. Oh my god! She's
Same.
stuff like me! On the verge of moving into her
Excellent
parents'
millennial.
basement, when a lifeline appears in the form of a very unconventional job in the neighboring Cambric Creek, she has no choice but to grab it with
Both
both
hands.
Morning Glory Farm offers full-time hours,
How much does a book
full
cost?
benefits, and generous pay with no experience
I look it up on my phone.
needed.
Hold on.
There's only one catch. The clientele is grade A certified prime beef.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. With the manly, meaty endowments to... Okay.
Morning Glory Milking Farm is actually a profound critique of late-stage capitalism and
It has a 5 out of 5 on... Oh, yeah, I saw this video. It was so stupid. It has a 5 out of 5 on Waterstones, a 3.9 on Amazon, and a 3.6 on Google Reads. It has 61,000 reviews. Oh, apparently it's 2 years old, and it's $5. Is that the Audible? It's the Kindle is free. That's amazing. The paperback is $20. Okay.
masculinity. In this text, we see that the tingling sensation in her coochie is actually the tingling
Huh?
sensation of a Marxist revolution.
Some people just need to be put down, I swear.
This is every fucking BreadTube video to me, dude. This is every Jack Saint video. So I actually read the book myself, and
Oh.
I'm not gonna lie. The 19th Amendment needs to be abolished. So, like I said, the story is basically this millennial named Violet, and she gets a job basically working at Big Pharma
She's a
in
prostitute,
Narnia,
basically.
where they harvest Minotaur milk to make Viagra
Minotaur goo.
for human males. And I read the whole thing. Probably gonna be put on some kind of watch list. But listen, this is my job, okay? I'm not out here like selling feet pics or something. What I do
Not
is
yet,
far
no.
more dignified and normal. Now let's take a look at some of these notes I wrote. Let's see. Big dick and balls. At one point she says the term, and I quote,
Go on. Please have it highlighted.
the seam of his sack. So I'm reading this.
You know what? I've never heard it described as a seam.
And the whole time I'm thinking like, okay, he probably has like a human head, right? He probably like looks something like this, like, you know, just a dude
Iced
with like horns. Then I see the official artwork. That's a cow.
Yeah.
Bro is a cow.
It's a Highlands
Bro
cow.
is a straight up cow. In a few parts they're being intimate and it will be like, his hooves clip-clopped. My hooves will tear up your sheets. And it's like,
Ugh.
I'm sorry, his what? At one point, she describes kissing him, and I swear to God, it
It'd
was
just be a
more
mouthful of
disgusting
hair.
than anything else described in this book. She's like describing how big and wide his mouth is, and how big and like slimy his tongue is. She's like describing the
Ugh.
shit, and you're just like, that's a cow.
Probably smells like shit too. Have you ever smelled a cow? They don't smell good. I live in Ireland. There's quite a few farms around. And my grandparents live not on a farm. They live next to one. Like they're cattle farmers. Like they have cows. They don't smell good. I'll admit they're funny. I like cows personally. They're like big dogs. It's like if you literally got a dog, made it like triple the size, and you took out like all its brain. It's just like they're chill for the most part.
I mean, we are at a solid 5.5 on the Barbeau scale here.
What the fuck is that?
This is dangerous territory, folks. She also f***ers his ass.
Oh, yes!
The cow's ass. By the way, if you want an uncensored version of this video and all my videos, Patreon.
No, this one in particular, I'm fine.
Go to Patreon, become a member.
I'll live.
All members get the uncensored version of every video, so you can hear me talking about s***ing and
Does that mean you just whip out like a 12-inch dildo and you just slap it on the table like this is his cock according to the book?
cow's asshole? Is that what you freaks want? Anyway,
Yes.
I like how in this fantasy world, student loans still exist. Like, we can imagine a world with minotaurs
Fantasy
and
animals.
humans in a relationship, but we can't imagine a world without student loans. Sad. Oh, and he has one of those bull rings, like the nose ring theory septum rings. And in this world, that means, like, you're married.
To be fair, if anyone can have a septum piercing get away with it, it'd be a fucking minotaur. They almost always have one, because it's just, like, symbolic. Like, that, usually a massive upper body. The lower seems to be kind of debatable. But like a bodybuilder, like the old school, like Ronnie Coleman, fucking just overly muscle, and they usually have an axe or a hammer or something. That's like the trad minotaur.
But apparently he's divorced. The man is divorced. This is a divorced cow with a cow ex-wife. The lore is deep, folks. The funniest part, though, has to be when they go on a date. I need to just read this to you. When the bill arrived, she attempted to pull a handful of carefully folded bills from her wristlet before he stopped her. No, that's absolutely not happening. Put that away. She'd not thought about it until the day after their first dinner together, realizing that in mortification that she ought to have attempted to pay her half. What kind of feminist are you?
Oh, come on. Even in the horny books you can't escape this bullshit.
She asked herself. She couldn't remember the last time she'd been out and hadn't paid for her half, including her coffee date with Carson Tinsley. She had come prepared that night, several weeks of her tips smooth.
Is the moral of the story men suck? Unless they're some 10-foot tall, 15-inch cock, fucking minotaur demon thing.
Tucked into her wristlet. But I didn't even offer to pay half the other night and shouldn't have. Violet. If the commanding rumble of his voice hadn't silenced her, the heat of his hand dropping to her knee would have. I don't want you to feel like. I don't want you to feel that you don't have any agency here. I might be the one giving all the orders, but you hold all the cards. Your comfort is the only thing that counts right now. And if I overstep, I want you to know you can tell me so. But that's not happening. Don't think I'm unaware we're at different points in our careers. You can say no, you can say you don't want to see me again, you can tell me to stop coming to the farm when you're working. It's dinner, not a down payment of your time, but I'm in a position to comfortably spoil someone. So when you're with me, I'm spoiling you. End of story. She was a good feminist, she told herself, and she definitely couldn't be bought. But if he had suggested at that moment that he would have appreciated a blowjob, she would have fallen face first on his cock with an open mouth.
I never want to hear shit about the type of stuff men watch ever again. Ever. Just, no.
Without a shred of hesitation. Inside every woman, there are two wolves. Or two bulls.
Horny
the strong,
and
independent
feminist,
girl
I guess.
boss and the submissive, doting housewife. And in the presence of a masculine man, or a farm animal, she will fold like a lawn chair and instantly return to
To
factory.
be fair though, minotaurs usually are depicted as like the peak of masculinity. Usually. Because it literally is just all brawn and like fighting. So if you want to go to like, I guess, more fantasy masculinity, usually minotaurs are pretty up there.
Setting.
Except in like Warhammer with the beast men. They just kind of, they literally exist just to cause chaos.
It's dinner.
I
not
love
a down
beast men so
payment for
much,
your
man. They're such a
time,
fun race to play.
But I'm in a position to comfortably spoil someone. So when you're with me, I'm spoiling you. End of story. I said, okay, I highlighted that paragraph for myself.
Ah.
Clean up aisle 5. So that's what I thought of it. But what did other people think of it? What are the early reviews on this book. This book has a 4.1 on Amazon with
It doesn't anymore.
21,000 ratings and a 3.6 on Goodreads with nearly 60,000 ratings. Let's just read some random ones here. Hear me out. Hear me out. A milking good time. Sweet and creamy.
If I hear me out, I know the next thing that's about to come out of their mouths is going to be the most abhorrent shit on the planet.
A spice is spicing. I was very leery of starting this because I thought it was just gonna be porn. The plot is pretty good. The plot?
Bro, High School DxD is a good plot, but whenever I say that, I get called a fucking gooner. Actually watch it without staring at the titties. It's actually a very fun anime.
Please. This is like the new, I read Playboy for the articles. Like, sure you do. This book could kill a Victorian child. 5 stars. I'll never look at a jug of milk the same. I think I'm lactose intolerant now. So that happened. Our eyes will never see the gates of heaven. 1 star. Not a helpful guide. This book failed to teach me how to milk a cow, and now my family has no food
Fucking M&Ms.
for the winter. 1 star. Accidentally ordered while on pain medication after an operation. Gave this to my mom as a joke gift for Christmas. You what? Lesai. Why can't human males be more like this?
Did Pyrocynical write this? What? Lesai? I fucking hate that Pyrocynical made that like a thing. All in leheads, Lesai, all the le. He also kind of coined the slap, is what reviews or reacts are called now, slap.
Tall, rich, and handsome are
I hate
no
how much
golden
influence
enough
that man
boys.
has,
They
but I
have to
also
be
love
9
his
foot tall
content,
creature
so...
from Greek mythology with a 13-inch dick. I never want to hear from another person about how they read 100 books in a year if this is the kind of slop they are consuming. Well, Ronald, man detected, this isn't for you. This is for women. So take your ass back to Barely Legal Babysitter 5 or whatever the f you watch that is so morally superior than this. Let him who is without sin cast the first stone, okay? God bless America. It's great to live in a country where I can casually enjoy cozy erotica about a young woman who milks her way to financial security and true love with a minotaur. This is what freedom looks like, and I intend to fully enjoy it before the Supreme Court takes this right away next.
What? What the fuck? What?
If this is what freedom looks like,
I don't want it.
I'm really rethinking my stance on freedom, not gonna lie. Maybe we should have less of it. All I know is if Donald Trump takes the monster porn, we are going to make 2020 look like a picnic, okay? Bull cock matters. Oh my god. Edit that out. Editor.
I want someone to make Donald Trump read this. I would love to see his reaction.
Women are gonna be picking up Animal Farm now, like, where's the horse cock? Some of you people owe a certain streamer an apology because this book has way too many 5 stars. Some of you are lying. So after buying this book, Amazon has given me a few interesting
I've seen some of the
recommendations.
recommendations.
Would you like to see them? I accidentally summoned a demon boyfriend. That time I got drunk and saved a demon. Gentling the beast.
Ugh.
Cupcakes for my orc enemy. Mane of my existence. The gargoyle and the spinster. The widow and the orcs. Hoarded by the dragon. There's something
Is it
about
just me, or do like 90% of these look like AI generated covers?
dragons. Getting it on with gargoyles. Gotten by the gator. Mated to the mountain bear. Oh, so this is why they chose the bear. The billionaire orc.
What?
Moth manager. Wolves and whipped cream.
Why are they all fat?
The wolf in my tavern. Pounded by produce. Oh,
Okay, that has to be a bit.
Are these the books the Nazis burned?
My husband only reads finance and sci-fi books, and so I think it's about time that
I only read finance and like self-help and science.
introduce him to some real literature. So
If I asked you for a book recommendation, you just gave me smut, I would just slap the shit out of you.
the first book that I would like to introduce you to is called Morning Glory Milking Farm, and it's not a normal milking farm like with cows. What it is it's big, bulky minotaurs, and it's a special type of milking.
See, honey, she's his stepsister, and she got stuck in the washer machine again. Women on TikTok are openly, proudly talking about the porn they consume and getting mad at people when they make fun of it. I hereby ban men from reacting to romantasy on TikTok.
It's not romance.
Best-selling romantasy books like A Court of Thorns and Roses and A Fourth Wing contain descriptions of hot sex. I feel like that's common knowledge, if not their primary purposes. But in recent months, BookTok has become full of men clutching their pearls while reacting to steamy scenes from these popular female-centered books. Obviously, this is all a massive performance. We live in the age of OnlyFans. The odds are that these men have seen actual porn that defies the laws of physics and God. Over 90% of men between the ages 16 and 73 watch porn in any random month.
Yeah.
There's statistically no way all of these guys are shocked by the sex itself. What they are gawking at is sex from the perspective of female desire. Scenes that depict women coming first and
Well, I think it's because, at least from my understanding, most men kind of watch, like, normal porn. Like, just normal. I mean, it might be exaggerated, sure. But, like, it's about as normal as you can get for something that performative. But, like, when it comes to BookTok, it's, like, actual, like, demons and shit, and there's a lot of, I don't know if violence is the right word, but, like, kind of just, like, BDSM stuff, and it's just, like, you know, most guys find, at least from my knowledge, most guys find that weird. So it's, like, oh, and also a lot of them are kind of taught that it's, like, oh, women don't, well, A, they don't consume this content, which is just a lie. But also that they're more, like, mellow, I suppose. If they do consume it, like, it's more normal than what men watch. Like, it would be softcore compared to hardcore. But it's like, actually, men are watching the softcore stuff comparatively.
And what they are surprised by is the women they know love these scenes. In one video, a guy declares, "Now I know why women enjoy book clubs and wine." But his astonishment in itself is astonishing. Like, what do you think adult women were into? Not having sex and drinking wine? Grow up. Imagine a group of men sitting around
Talking about their favorite
wine,
porn.
discussing the porn they watch. That is what you guys are essentially doing. It's just funny, okay? Like, it's funny. Are we really going to pretend that a story about a young woman getting a job
It's so
milking
over the
mythical
top.
creatures to pay off her student debt is not funny? It's funny. If that makes me a sexist or misogynist, you got me. To
Well,
act
I mean, shoot, they already hate you,
you are so
so it
different
doesn't
and
matter.
above the other Gooners is just, it's silly. I'm sorry, but you are no different than Joe Schmo jorking it to fat booty Latinas in Space 12. You're sitting there all high and mighty, one hand on the book, acting like you're so superior because you can perfectly envision
you can read
a
it.
horse cock spinning 360 degrees in your mind. I'm not impressed. The scenes these men are reading, to many people, myself included, are insanely sexy. But purely in terms of the acts being described, they aren't all that lurid. And as many of the comments on these videos point out, there's much wilder stuff out there. For example, these men have clearly
Knotting?
not yet discovered knotting, a popular term in romantasy right now that involves werewolves whose penises get so swollen after sex they have to stay inside their partners until the swelling subsides.
What? I was so much happier 10 seconds ago when I didn't know this information.
Oh, honey, that's not a popular trend in romantasy. That's just a thing real dogs do. Oh, you just don't get it. You don't know what knotting is. What are these women reading, bro? What happened to that, like, stupid fucking corny Hallmark thing, going home for Christmas to your hometown and falling in love with the cute farmer boy? What happened to that? We used to make
Well,
fun of that.
no. The cute farmer boy is now a 10-foot tall trillionaire gargoyle who also is a demon prince who fights to save his queen, but she's a feminist, so she don't need no man, and he respects that, except when he doesn't.
We truly did not know what we had until it was gone. Now women out here fantasizing about getting their asses clapped by demons and werewolves and goblins and ghouls. I remember when 50 Shades of Grey came out and people were like, oh my god, this is so crazy. Women are crazy. 50 Shades of Grey looks like missionary sex through a bedsheet for the sole purpose of procreation compared to the the average woman on TikTok is reading. At least Christian Grey was a human man and not a fucking dog. You fantasize about dating the quiet, shy, nerdy girl. You know, she's innocent, she's pure, she's not like
She's
other
not
girls,
innocent.
like going out clubbing and hooking up with random men.
I've met enough shy, air quote innocent people in general. Dudes do it as well, but obviously girls more often. No. No.
No, she's at home, curled up by the fire in a blanket, reading a book. Except that book is about f***ing a half-man, half-bull. Let me let you in on a little secret. The quiet, nerdy girl is way more of a freak than the average hoe. Are you kidding me? It's not even close. The average hoe might
They're a
have
freak, they just don't act on it because Minotaurs don't exist.
a body count of like 15 or so, but the quiet, nerdy girl is fantasizing about getting back shots from Cthulhu. That is at least 100 bodies. Now listen, there's nothing inherently wrong with fantasizing, okay? There's nothing wrong with roleplay. You know, fiction is fiction, right? You know, you're not actually going to bang your stepsister, right? These women are not actually going to bang a cow.
A Minotaur.
Or
Hopefully.
at least I hope not.
Yeah.
We all know there is a difference between fantasy and reality. Well, what happens when they try to bring fantasy into reality?
What do you mean by that?
Well,
Oh, is she going to show the clip of the girl who's like asking my husband to play out BookTok stuff?
Sinners and Stardust.
What? That's just Pyramid Head. To be fair, people have been wanting to fuck Pyramid Head since like they showed him. I don't know why.
What in the eyes wide shut is going on here? Sinners and Stardust was supposed to be a dark romance ball for romantasy authors and fans alike. So what's the big deal? Seems like a fun, sexy time, right?
I remember there were some
If you're a
complaints
woman-
about this,
If you're a man,
like from the workers there.
the night may have gone a little differently for you. Alright, y'all, it
Yeah.
appears I have to make a post that I'm frankly pretty goddamn upset I have to make. This post is for the readers who don't understand consent and boundaries only. A lot of you may know my good friend Animus. He's attended a signing of mine in the past and obviously is a musical artist. This past weekend, he attended Sinners and Stardust and probably had one of the most heartbreaking experiences. So listen, he's a man, right? But do we think that means it's okay to put your hands all over him without consent? Or to put your hands in his waistband or down his pants or touch his dick? Hello? Do we think it's okay to quite literally back him into a corner and touch all over him to the point that he literally cannot tell how many hands are on him and whose are whose? Do we think it's okay to send him into an actual panic attack because of this? Furthermore, do we think it's okay to interrogate him and insist he detail how he'd kidnap a woman
What?
despite him repeatedly saying he wouldn't do that and you know that shit is fiction, and then attempt to follow him when he tries to get away? And if that wasn't enough, during the time of this mob, him and another author received notification that an air tag was tracking him,
Oh,
which
someone-
showed on his
oh.
person all the way to his hotel room. They molested this guy until he passed out from anxiety, and then they put a f***ing tracker on him in order to stalk him back to his hotel.
So
This
what, he couldn't
poor
get away?
guy dressed like a character in one of the romantasy books at this romantasy convention full of women. That is like throwing roast beef into a pit of wolves. Or in this case, throwing a wolf into
Wouldn't
a
wolves
pit of
prefer
roast beef.
raw beef?
I remember years ago there was this thing called cosplay
Is not consent.
Basically, it was a
Yeah.
campaign to bring attention to the fact that
Which,
people
yeah, it makes perfect sense. Just because you're in like a more lewd cosplay doesn't mean you have a right to just go fucking touch them.
conventions would often come up to women dressed in sexy costumes and just grope
Touch
and
them,
grab
yeah.
them without their consent. Yeah, apparently we have to bring that back because these women did not get the memo. I've been a furry for over a decade.
No, it's a man. It doesn't count.
And attended a lot of fur cons. Sure, sometimes weird shit happens, but honestly, I can't believe the dark romance crowd is out here acting like this. Like, me and my buddies in our fursuits are more respecting of consent and bodily autonomy. Get your shit together,
If the
y'all.
furries are
When
calling
the
you out,
furries
yeah.
are calling you out for being freaks, you need to reflect. Something has gone horribly wrong. Not only were the men at this BookTok convention assaulted, but women were also assaulted by women. Multiple women, including a performer, reported being assaulted there as well. Even an author there said she was groped and dragged away from her friends and said no matter how many times she said no, quote, "My words did nothing." May I remind you, this is a book convention, okay? For books. Literal BDSM clubs are more respectful than this. There needs to be more studies.
Well, at
on
least
how this
BDSM
stuff
clubs have
affects
fucking safe word.
women's brains. Because clearly some are unable to tell the difference between fantasy and reality. Ivy Lipton, a doctoral candidate,
To be honest, most of them are probably on the spectrum somewhere and they don't really understand boundaries super well. So it's not. I'm not saying it's okay. It's obviously not, but I'm just saying it kind of makes sense.
in human sexuality, actually wrote about this for EV Magazine. I don't know what a doctoral candidate in human sexuality is, but she's hot, so I trust her. Your brain on orgasms isn't neutral. Dopamine release during climax is a powerful conditioning agent. What you repeatedly fantasize about becomes necessary for arousal. If your erotic imagination centers around abuse, monstrous violence, and submission to non-human entities, your brain is reprogramming itself to crave just that. It's not empowerment, it's neuroplasticity at its darkest. Scientists, psychologists, and the general public often state that men are visual and women are emotional. When it comes to sex, men can be turned on instantly by a sexual image despite their mood, and women need to be turned on emotionally to get in the mood. So it stands to reason that
That's just
porn
what
for
I
men is
assumed as
visual
well,
and
yeah.
for women is in the mind. I'm not equating porn to smut novels, because one is a video of two people actually having real sex, and the other is, well, just words on paper. I am, however, talking about the effect on the consumer. We know watching porn is bad for the brain. That's been proven and only rejected by Gooners who don't want to give it up. But is reading smut bad? You might say, duh, that's the whole point. Okay, fair enough. So let me rephrase. Is reading smut harmful?
Probably.
Should we shame people for things that are wrong, immoral, or harmful? In my line of work, I've been told many times that shame has no place in sex. But if I use my brain for 2 seconds, it's clear that line of thinking is nonsense. Incest should be shamed, bestiality should be shamed, pedophilia should be shamed. I'm not equating monster smut with these things, but there are 50 shades of gray, so to speak, along the spectrum of harmful. Conditioning your brain and body to associate pleasure with monsters, slavery, or sexual violence is not healthy. Basically, they're cooked. Like, women are cooked. They are frying their brains with this stuff. It's a pipeline, right? It's like the infamous evil alt-right pipeline. You know, you start watching Shoe0nHead, owning the feminists in 2015, and then in 2025, you're hailing Hitler, right? You know, the alt-right pipeline. And this one's like,
give me like 6 months and I'll be there.
you're reading Morning Glory Milking Farm, and the next thing you know, you're Mrs. Hands, right? Just say no. Just say no to monster porn. But why is monster smut so popular with women in particular? Like, you rarely see the opposite, and when you do, it's just like a girl with cat ears and fangs.
Don't fucking disrespect cat girls. Hold on now. Wait, where are you going with this?
Or like a 10-foot tall dommy mommy vampire.
I never understood the Lady D thing. Her daughters, however. I'm just saying.
With giant titties. Meanwhile, women are like, I want to f the pollution monster from Fern Gully. So people on Reddit asked this very question. Let's see the responses. Why do you guys like monster romances? Asking for a friend. Several reasons. 1, human men are quite often terrible. Romance.
Yep, I kind of figured that would be part of it, to be honest.
Books with human men are already partly fantasy, but monsters just takes the fantasy bit further. 2, it's sort of
So, mental health problems, unresolved trauma.
Human nature to imagine relationships with paranormal beings and creatures. We've been doing it in literature and art for centuries. It's just gotten a lot more graphic now, lol. 3, unique body forms / parts and so many different kinds of dicks. Scary, mean, terrifying creature, is sweet to her, kind, takes care of her, protects her, works hard to be gentle, etc.
So, like most men. Well, yeah, most men, like actual men.
Maximal escapism, minimal association to real-life assholes, the patriarchy, misogyny, and oppression of women.
It's mostly leftist women. I am so surprised.
Etc., etc. Because the monsters are less dangerous than dating actual men. As a fat woman of color, modern, contemporary, and even fantasy romances are hard to click to because they are almost always about thin white women and just too realistic, and romance in real life is not always attainable for fat women / women of color. In monster alien romance, though, my size doesn't matter, and it's easier to get into that headspace and enjoy it. I'm sick of the men on Earth and looking for some variety. Non-humans haven't betrayed and hurt me, so they feel like a safe haven, if that makes sense. Plus the unusual dick. Monsters
What the
have big, fun-shaped cocks.
Do you know what? This is the most sane answer we've gotten so far.
I love some bizarre peen. Unique genitalia. I don't know what I was expecting, honestly. A lot of women's smut, especially monster smut, is about submission, domination, forced breeding, non-consensual consent. The women are like conquered and taken and overpowered by these monsters. And I think many of these women are reading these books containing monsters and not men because masculinity and dominance in men has been completely demonized in modern
they
society.
think it's
But the
evil, so to speak.
truth is, many women still crave it. You see, the monsters in these stories have those like dominant masculine traits that women like so much, but they're not human men. They have all these traits women desire.
Yeah, it's they like masculinity, they just don't like men. More likely it's just some unresolved issue like with their dad, or they had a shitty boyfriend or something, so now all men suck. But they're kind of being like, they'll say masculinity is toxic, whatever, it's horrible. But then they'll read a book that, about the Minotaur, which, at least from the little bit we saw, is like the most traditional form. There's going to be a little bit of an awkward cut there. I apologize for that. People just randomly walk into my room whenever they want. What is it? Oh yes, it is the most like traditional form of masculinity. They're providing for the woman, whatever, being like firm in your position, yet also kind of letting the woman dictate a bit if she wants. But it's not a man, so they feel okay with supporting it. It's literally like you're supporting it, you just don't know who you are.
Out the problematic baggage human men bring, without being the men they hate or have been told to hate. It is the perfect guilt-free slop. But they don't just want a wild dominant man, they want to tame a wild dominant man. Similar to when a man sees an art hoe with a nose ring, you can save her from her daddy issues. You can do it. It definitely won't backfire and ruin your life. Go for it. Go talk to her. With many women, there's this desire for like
You know what sucks? There are a lot of hot women who have nose rings. They're not hot because of a nose ring. In fact, nose ring makes them less attractive. But it's like, fuck. Like, I wanna ask her out, but I know it's a terrible idea. But the monkey brain is saying do it, so fuck. So you do it anyway.
Danger and aggression, but also the desire to tame that danger and aggression. The desire to be that special woman who can melt his heart. You see, my dragon boyfriend could rip me to shreds and kill me instantly,
but he doesn't.
Won't because
yeah.
he's nice and he loves me. But honestly, at the end of the day, just like the video I made about the anime girl in a wheelchair, where men were saying, this is the average male fantasy, and a bunch of women were like,
yeah, even though it was like, no, it's not that. It's that it's a loving woman.
Disabled girl? When in reality, it was just a distilled manifestation of the average male fantasy, which is to protect and provide for a sweet woman and save her. This is like basically the flip of that, right? This is just the distilled manifestation of the female fantasy. Men are seeing this and they're saying, what do you mean you want to milk a minotaur? When in reality, it's just to have a...
To be fair, though, I would say the disabled girl one, I can't remember the name of the anime. I think it was a movie, actually. That one is far more down to earth than a minotaur milking.
Big, strong protector and provider swoop you up and save you. And like I said in that video, they are basically both the same fantasy. This is a tale as old as time, the princess being saved from the dragon by a knight in shining armor, whether the dragon be a wheelchair or student loans, But in this case, the woman is being f***ed by the dragon, and the knight sits in the corner and watches or something.
Yeah, the iDubbbz chair in the hotel room, yeah.
Not that deep. There are some hungers better starved than fed. And maybe as women, for the sake of society, we have to starve our hunger for minotaur penis.
I'm sure Bad Dragon sells some.
That's the moral of this video. So what do you guys think? What is your theory? Why is the monster romance genre so popular with women in particular? And who is your weirdest hear me out? Be honest. I don't want to hear no Lola Bunny, okay? You all know mine already. It's not that he's a fish, okay? He has
I would
energy,
have to
okay? He has
think
a vibe.
about it.
You know what, never mind. And I will see you guys again really soon with a new video.
My weirdest hear me out. Off the top of my head, the only one I could think of is like Bella, as I think that was her name. One of I think it's the blonde Demetresque daughter. But that's not even a weird hear me out. It's only quote unquote weird because she would probably murder you. But like, I definitely have a weirder one. I would just have to think about it for a bit longer. I'll get back to you when I have it.